Warriors wake up, soldiers check in. What mission are we on today? Listen, family, I'm so fired up. Listen, I was thinking about the African proverb, it takes a whole village to raise a child, right? And oftentimes we say this, and I've never had anybody to disagree with the principle that is in the African proverb, it takes a whole village to raise a child. We all often bring this up. We utilize this in various discussions and various speeches and things that we talk about when it comes to our children, when it comes to our youth, when it comes to our young warriors. We talk about the notion of it taking a whole village, of it taking our collectivity, our collaboration, our cooperation in order for us to raise our children, right? But one of the things that we often in my experience that we often overlook is this notion of the village itself, right? When we're talking about it taking the village to raise the child, oftentimes we look at the children, we look at our youth, we focus our energy on what is going on with our youth, right? As we look at negative interactions and youth violence and all these concepts that we're talking about as it relates to our youth being apathetic in various political and economic situations and being a generation that's lost. I've heard all these different characterizations of our youth. But in the African proverb, it says it takes a whole village to raise a child. So the question is, what happens to our children? What happens to the youth? What happens to our young warriors when the village that's supposed to raise them is not whole, when it's not strong, when it's not powerful, when it does not have the capacity to do the raising? Because when you're trying to raise something, it takes strength, it takes power, it takes empowerment in order to properly raise a generation. Listen, we're not talking about just lifting, a feather. We're not talking about just lifting, some small form of resistance. We're talking about raising a generation. So in order for the village to raise the generation, the village got to be whole. The wholeness of the village has to be something that's consistently and intentionally engaged in a way that we are consistently growing and becoming mentally, physically, and spiritually. Listen, in this season, as we are continuously seeing various aspects of society and interactions between our young warriors and interactions between our young warriors and other people, listen, that we feel like it's not going in the right direction, and we want to change and we want to transform the dynamics of our children. Listen, it becomes even more critical that we focus on strengthening that wholeness of our village, right? Because the truth of the matter is, the notion of what we are battling is a pipeline, right? We all are familiar with the notion of the pipeline to prison, right? There's always a pipeline for our children. But the thing that we want to recalibrate is our focus on building our own pipeline, right? So the notion of pipeline to power and being a pipeline of power builder is understanding that whatever goes through the pipeline is a valuable asset or resource, the same way that natural gas and oil flows through a pipeline. That pipeline is built with steel and elements that are protecting, that are, that it can't be easily destructed. The same mindset, the same principle, the same concept has to be implemented in how we build our pipelines for our children, as we identify them and we characterize them and we perceive them as our most valuable our asset, our most valuable resource, right? As they are to flow from their conception to their full power and potential. And wherever they are to go, they are to invigorate, they are to empower whatever space they go in. Just like oil and gas is meant to light up, is meant to charge and recharge, our children have that same power within them. Thus, it is a must that we strengthen our positions as pipeline of power builders. Listen, I'm calling for the village. I'm calling for the brothers and sisters that understand that we must raise, cultivate, and protect the opportunity for our youth to flow from where they are to who they were created to become, because we understand that that type of power that they have can sustain our people, can sustain our communities into future generations. I'm calling on the pipeline of power builders. Listen, it ain't even about me. Our children need us as a community, right? Our warrior brothers and sisters, whether you are a parent, right? You are educated, right? You are you have a community stakeholdership that has the opportunity to influence, to engage, right? To have an input into the minds, bodies, and spirits of our children. Listen to me. We must be that village. We must be pipeline of power builders, right? That strengthen and hold and protect, raise, cultivate, and protect the opportunity for our youth to reach their full power and potential. Listen, I'm calling for 10,000 pipeline of power builders, right? We pushing Pipeline of Power Builders 10K initiative. This campaign is focused on identifying and building the synergy, the energy, the connectivity between the brothers and sisters that understand that we must be that village, not just a village, but a whole village, a strong village, a powerful village that is consistently engaged with the raising process, because it's not just a term, it is an action. We know that love is an action word, so that action must be consistent. That action must be attached to intentionality on a consistent basis, on a daily basis, on a daily focus, understanding that everything matters, every experience matters, everything that touches and connects to the mind, the body, through the eyes, through the ears of our children, right? Even for us as becoming the example of what is possible, it all matters in the midst of pipeline of power building. I'm looking for my 10K. I'm looking for 10,000 warriors. I'm looking for 10,000 people that say, no, we will be pipeline of power builders for the ones that we say that we love. Listen, if that's you, I know it's you, right? If that's you, please engage this pipeline of power builders initiative, right? 3 easy steps, right? Connect with us at the link below this video, right? Answer some quick questions, right? Some quick questions just so we can have that communication, we can connect. Take the Pipeline of Power Builders pledge, right? 3 components: raise, cultivate, and protect. Read it, embrace it, internalize it. And then we are asking for your support, right? As we prepare to launch, right, our critical action programming, right? Programs and ventures and projects that are connected directly to building this pipeline of power builders, because we need you in the mix, right? Not only from a support standpoint, from where you providing that type of resource support, but we need your natural genius, right? We need your natural genius, your expertise, your skills. Let's connect it all into this pipeline of power so that we have that strength of the village that is going to take to raise them to the powerful heights that they've been created to. Click below, raise, cultivate, and protect. Listen, 3 easy steps. I'm looking to connect with you because we must be pipeline of power builders, because future generations are watching. We will not let them down. Let's go get it today. We on a mission. Zao.